Yellen, our former legal analyst, spoke with Tia Ewing just a few minutes ago about this verdict. Let's listen what he had to say.
The cases that I covered, George Ryan, the governor of Illinois, Rod Blagojevich, a former governor of Illinois. There have been some very dramatic moments in the Dirksen building that received a lot of attention in the state of Illinois. I covered the O.J. Simpson trial. And honestly, I think the O.J. Simpson trial, the coverage we had back then in 94, 95, compared to the coverage that this trial has received. That trial went on for something like 8 months, if I recall. And there was a cast of characters. It was televised. People like Johnny Cochran taking over the courtroom, essentially, for the defense. It was an unbelievable trial to participate in. Donald Trump's trial lasted 4 weeks, maybe, was it? It was largely based on documents. There was some very dramatic and very testy testimony. That's a hard one to get out. And but I would still put the O.J. Simpson trial above this one. Now, in terms of national significance, though, a former president being convicted of felonies in the state of New York, or even in a federal courthouse, if it were, is unbelievable and really something that we've rarely seen in our lifetime. My reaction to the verdict, my friends have been asking me to make predictions. I never like to make predictions when I'm not in the courtroom and haven't gotten a personal sense for the jury, for the defense lawyers, for the way that it's going. But I've been watching a lot of it, the coverage on the various networks, including Fox. And I always say that the prosecution, they win 80–90% of these cases to begin with. And unless there's a dramatic moment that benefits the defense, some great testimony by the defendant, for example, it's always the prosecution's case to lose. So I wasn't surprised that the prosecution carried the day here.
You said something I think is very interesting, which is what a lot of people are saying, is that a case of this magnitude has implications on a national level. What do you think? Internationally too. Yeah, because we've never seen a president, convicted in this way, not a United States president. What do you think that looks like for the future? What does that mean?
Well, I think on an international level, it shows the world that America doesn't have a system of kangaroo courts, is not some banana republic where a former president cannot be brought to trial for his crimes and judged by 12 of his peers. I think it's an amazing show of integrity and dignity for the American judicial system. With respect to the United States in particular, it remains to be seen what the effect will be. He can still run for president. He can appeal this case. There are a number of strong points for an appeal here. I don't think one of them is that he has a corrupt judge. I never thought he had a corrupt judge or was a victim of a corrupt prosecutor or a corrupt system here. But legally, the case was on shaky ground. And I think there are some good avenues for his appeal here. That may not happen, though. It won't happen until after the November election.